Good day everyone. Today, we will show you and we will discuss about the analyzing of Starbucks. And before we start the discussion, let me introduce myself first. I'm Ryan Michael Conde, second year base HM from St. Vincent College of Cabuy. With my group mates John Nicole Esquilio, John Melchor Montano, Mary Jane Dagos, James Christian De Pontorum. And this is Starbucks chain business model in nutshell. Starbucks chain business model in a nutshell. Starbucks may be a retail company that offers refreshment fundamentally comprising of coffee related to drinks and nutrition. In 2018, Starbucks had a 52% of company operated store versus 48% of authorized store. The income per company operated store accounted for 80% and add up to income, hence making Starbucks a chain business model. I read the Starbucks origin story. It was the year 1983. Howard was a young man walking through the street of Milan and Verona as a Howard School would put it. He became enamored by the coffee experience people had in the Italian bars. At that time, in 1983, Starbucks had a 3 store in Seattle. However, it wasn't serving any beverage but only coffee to bring home. When Howard looked at the way Italian experienced coffee, he understood the real segment of the business that could have made Starbucks truly successful was serving coffee direct to customers. I will read the Starbucks mission. As specified in its annual report, its mission is to provide the so-called Starbucks experience consisting in superior customer service and seamless digital experience as well as clean and well-maintained store that reflect the personalities of the communities in which they operate, thereby building a highlight degree of customers' loyalty.
What are the primary segments of the business? The main Starbucks segments can be broken down in company-operated store revenues, licensed store revenues, CPG food service, and other services of revenues. Because sometimes the profits they need will go to the company instead of accumulating it, then these are also the beneficiaries of the profit. Where do most of Starbucks revenues come from? As of 2018, companies operated stores accounted for 80% of ad up to net incomes. Instead, 11% is created by the authorized stores, which have a lower net edge and the next working margin than company-operated store. Starbucks is focusing on international expansion and new products for future growth like Americas segments, Canada, and Latin America.
How does Starbucks protect itself from the sudden change in the price of raw coffee? Starbucks is committed to offering the finest entirety bean coffee and coffee refreshment. In short, Starbucks buy a coffee utilizing fixed price and price to be fixed by commitment depending on showcase condition to secure a satisfactory supply of quality green coffee. And here is the financial information about Starbucks revenue from 2014 to 2018. Shows revenue of Starbucks increased every year. Revenues Starbucks. In short, the total revenue in 2018 were 24.7 billion US dollars compared to 22.3 billion US dollars in 2017. And 80% of the net sales come from the company-operated stores.
Starbucks transition toward a heavy company-owned business model. Starting in 2015, Starbucks completed the acquisition of good chunk of former licensed stores, then become the company's operated stores. At the same time, Starbucks is unloading some of its previously operated stores to the license in some other geographic areas.
Starbucks model highlights. Starbucks is a retail company that was inspired by a trip by Howard Schultz in Italy, When it's a bars in Milan and Verona, he saw the whole experience of having coffee. He realized it was way more about building communities around local coffee shop rather than just coffee itself. That's how he thought to rebuild and branding the same kinds of experience back to the US. At the financial level, Starbucks had 52% of company operated stores in 2018 compared to 48% of licensed store. Company operated stores comprise 80% of the revenues in 2018 and they contribute to Starbucks transition toward a heavy chain business model where Starbucks tries to keep as much control over the customer experience by controlling and buying back previously licensed store.
Why is Starbucks so famous? Because of the ambience it provides to relax and relieve stress. People just fall in love with that culture. People never experience the coffee shop like Starbucks before as to how they can sit and enjoy coffee without much time restriction, even more with Wi-Fi facility. In the categories of the Starbucks, they have our coffee, tea, baked goods, frappuccinos, smoothies, other foods and beverages. And lastly is the merchandise, like mugs, instant coffee, and tumblers.
Starbucks logo. Starbucks logo symbolize since Starbucks was named after nautical character, the original Starbucks logo was designed that reflect to seductive imagery of the sea. An early creative dug through old marine archives until he found an image of a siren from a 16th century Nordic woodcut.
Starbucks is an American multinational chain of roastery reserves and coffee houses, having its headquarters in Seattle, Washington. It is the world's largest coffee house chain, as the store in 83 countries. Starbucks stores serve full chain for coffee, hot and cold drinks, espresso, cafe latte, microground instant coffee known as Baya Cappuccino, Beverage Evolution, fresh juices, and snacks, including products such as chips and crackers with some seasonal offering depending upon the location of the store. The company was founded by Gordon Bowers J.C. and Jerry Baldwin, two individuals who met while they were students at the University of San Francisco. The first Starbucks store was opened in 1971 in Seattle, Washington. However, the oldest trademark feeling for the company dates back to 1976 for an old logo. Branding of Starbucks has been one of the pivotal elements of Starbucks' strategy over many years. The company has invested significantly in creating a standard look at the appeal of its stores, merchandise, and food and drinks. The Starbucks siren logo is one of the most recognizable logos in the world. The global expansion strategy has a key objective of creating the Starbucks experience in every new country the company enters. And essentially results in a similar kind of experience in stores whether it's located in New York, Mexico, Moscow, Tokyo, or Shanghai. The brand strategy, as mentioned before, focuses its detail on the experience of the stores creates. This has always been the cornerstone of the company's philosophy and values. In the United States, where the company estimates the majority of its stores will become drive-thru, it has embraced stylingly appealing design principles to create stores about an unused shipping container. Interiors of stores are continuously spruced up through clever and artistically appealing ways of being definite materials, lighting arrangements, etc. in its international stores. The strategy is around localizing some of the store elements but still staying true to the Starbucks experience.